All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I am going to actually do a pretty immediate review of TTOO and SOUNHOUND. I covered both of these, I think, 2 days ago. And normally, like I say, when I do my videos showing a daily chart as well as a weekly. So in a lot of ways, each video is actually good for up to a week, depending on what happens with these lines and, you know, the numbers I kind of give out, right? But I think there's so much happening with TTOO on a daily basis. It kind of makes sense to talk about it. And then SOUNDHOUND, I'm not even here pretending I saw this happening to SOUNDHOUND. I definitely gave some warnings on the last video, and I'll talk about those again, but man, SOUNDHOUND was an interesting few days to say the least. And then I think EBET is worth taking a look at today. It's definitely caught my eye. I did not make any money on it today, but I'm really curious to see if it's going to continue or not. So I think this is a really cool 3 to say the least, okay? But before we go any further, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video all over the internet, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me out so much, but for real, just being here and giving me your time is beyond appreciated, all right? And really quickly, I don't normally do this, but I want to flash this real quick. So the Discord page is actually growing really well. I know it's only a single-digit number of people here, but it was literally only 2 of us maybe a week ago even, but look, you're getting a lot of really cool perspectives on this page. And if you go to my social media video, maybe like a week ago, you'll get the link. But it's a really good Discord, to say the least, all right? So let's talk about TTOO now. And look, there are a few things that are actually jumping out to me immediately, all right? I always say 80% of the work is up here, and we'll get up here really quickly, but I actually want to talk about down here a little bit. I want to talk about volume first, okay? Look, volume is king. And, you know, it's funny, on my last video 2 days ago, I actually mentioned TTOO was starting to become like Mullen. TTOO was starting to become the king or queen of volume, you know what I mean? And I literally said on any given day, this can be a top 1 or top 5 volume, you know, anywhere in between, right? And, you know, to go from, look at the box over there in the corner, 225 million shares traded, all the way down to 100. That's more than a 50% reduction in volume on a given day. That would kill a lot of stocks, all right? Look, clearly it was a bad day, right? I mean, no one wants to eat a 3% day. No one likes seeing red candles, but truth be told, the fact that we, again, lost more than 50%, again, we were above 200, we're barely above 100 today, right? Like, we lost 50% easy, not even rounding, and we still held pretty well. That's not bad, okay? And really, the problem with TTOO was a couple things. Look at WeWork. This thing hit a lot of shares today, 700 million. Look at Mullen. Mullen actually had 200 million today. And then the other one we're going to talk about at the end, EBET. EBET was also pushing another 200 something, right? So what really happened was a few stocks just, you know, took a little bit more attention. It is what it is, right? So unfortunately, like I said, most stocks, if you were going to lose 50%, I think would have had much worse a day, okay? But overall, I say this often, all right? There are red candles in a good, healthy uptrend, okay? So I'm not necessarily scared about this day for 2 reasons. First off, hey, we at least held 50%. I'll be honest, there were moments where I actually thought we were going to close at 31 or maybe even 30. I told you guys in the last video I averaged up at 30. So even still being at this 33, I'm up 10% on my average up, let alone when I got in on the pop, right? So, you know, overall, I'm just me personally sitting okay. But in terms of the technicals, look, we're over 50% candle, we're still over the 8 moving average, and we're still at least over the 100. My one thing to say is this, okay? I mentioned this in Twitter. I said I want to know if today gets in the 40s and what happens. If you look, I only have 2 decimals right here, but I have, where I move my money, I have 4 decimals, obviously. We literally hit 0.3999. We did not get in the 40s. If we got in the 40s, it would have been a very different day. I actually think we would have probably gone up here into 45 range, give or take. But the 40 line was hard. And it's funny because I've been here before. You know how excited I get when I say red, 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 green, 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 green. For sure, right? But I talked about the RSI in the last video as well. I'm going to talk about it again right here. When you're super low and you're sitting in the 30s, man, there's a lot of room before you get to the 80s and I start getting worried, okay? We're sitting in the 70s. There's not a lot of room between the 70s and that 80 where I start getting worried, right? So in a lot of ways, like I can't tell if we need the RSI to cool down before this thing goes up or not, you know? It's like, I think what are we doing after hours? Good, we're holding, nothing big, nothing small. Where is the 1 hour chart? Ah, look at that. That's an interesting one. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm like looking this and thinking real quick. How low are we here? All right, so I'll be honest with you. There is a legit chance this falls to 29, right? It's really important to see what this 20 moving average does. And we've actually never even touched the 50 for a good while. And again, I'm looking at the hourly chart, not the daily, right? But yeah, I think there's actually reason to believe we might be coming down to the 8 moving average. All right. What's this? 31. Yeah, we might lose that because I just said 20. Look, again, it matters more where we close than where we like wick, right? But hey, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing comes down to 29. That's at least the first thing I'm going to say. From there, look, it's important as long as we're holding the 8. Good things happen over the 8 and the 20. So far, we're still doing well with the 8 and the 20, right? But I think what needs to happen, man, is we actually really need to escape this 100 moving average, all right? Because I've talked about this 100 line a few times, all right? Since this right here, since basically April of 2021, we have been well under this blue 100 moving average line, all right? Little moment right here, nothing insignificant, like very insignificant thing here. And really in this entire thing, let me see if I can zoom in and kind of show it a little better. Nope, not that. Give me a second. Let's look at this. All right, look at this right here. We actually, even in this, never break that 100 moving average line very well. We get over it. Let me give you guys a better view too. Sorry, I'm so used to like looking this far back that like it's second nature to me. But like, let's zoom in and show this. We physically break the line. That's not confirmation. That's not confirmation. We're heading back down. Break the line. That's not confirmation. Heading back down. We'd never win it again. This was an insignificant moment. All right. So again, it makes a lot of sense that we're actually still struggling with the 100 because again, since April 2021, more than 2.5 years, we've been below this line. Don't underestimate this line. All right, do not do that. And it's actually one of the big reasons why I've said in the last couple of videos, look, I can for sure draw a line right here. I can for sure draw a line right here. I can, I'm drawing no lines above the 200. Breaking the 100 is not going to be easy. Breaking the 200 is going to be that much harder. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, but yeah, I understand why we're struggling here. Am I happy that we are? No, I'm not, right? I want this thing to fly. I do. But again, there's only so much that can happen, right? I know we just want to see nothing but green, 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 but like this is the reality of stock markets, right? And this is why I like the moving averages. To me, it helps explain, dude, why are we going horizontal? Why is it not going off? Ah, it's this blue line right here. Okay, you know what I mean? To me, that works, right? I'm not here saying TA is the best. You know that if you watch my videos, but it helps explain to me things that otherwise I wouldn't know. You know what I mean? So, and look, so far, this is a good weekly, all right? We are sitting at the end of the week. You know I always say it, a doji does not count. This is a doji. All right. I don't know what's going to happen on Friday. I kind of said we might be coming to like, I really think that we're going to close Friday at 31. If you want to know the truth, I think we're going to get a picturesque doji right here. And the question's going to be what's going to happen the next week, right? Because again, I always say it, the doji tells the truth. And this still isn't quite at the zero line, right? It's obviously really, really close. It's hard to get a good thing, right? But yeah, weekly's not quite a positive MACD, but that's such a beautiful RSI. It's such a very healthy level. And man, the weeks have been doing well. They have, right? So, yeah, this one's just on the border. It really, really is, right? It's weird. I don't even know what to call the money line right now, right? Honestly, I think this is the money line. I think it's 34, 35 cents. We got to get over. We have to close over the Wednesday candle. I think that's essentially the goal right now. But like I said, I actually think this video, I'm saying we're going to come down and then probably pop up again. And for me, coming down's okay. Look, we might come down as low as 24. And that's actually a 33% drop from where we're at right now. So make sure you understand that if you're holding money, right? Because, yeah, we might lose the 8. I don't think we'll lose the 100. But, yeah, losing the 8 and coming all the way down to the 100 means you're coming to 24, right? So that could be a hard drop, all right? Just keep that in mind. But overall, I mean, the goal is still just let's fill this thing, right? Hopefully volume comes back. I also generally think Friday's going to be a loser day. So like, I think that kind of goes back to why I also think tomorrow's going to come down to 31 cents. Okay. But real quick, this is actually something I want to share, just kind of going back to the Discord. Sorry to scroll. I actually should have prepped this. Damn. Sorry. I probably should have paused this. Damn. But again, you can at least see how much we're talking about. Okay. This is it right here. So look, if you watch my videos, I actually rarely know what a company does. To me, get over some good lines and dude, I'll throw some money on you, right? So here I actually ask what TTOO does. And you know, it's actually pretty interesting. I had no idea about these blood infection tests, and you know, it goes from taking days to maybe hours. Like that's pretty big, right? Again, you know, I'm not here to talk about like FDA pump and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, a thumbs up and thumbs down, none of these colorful lines matter, right? But again, the Discord is pretty cool. I hope you guys join it. Otherwise, yeah, I think tomorrow we dip a little bit. You can do a couple things with that, right? You can maybe set a stop loss here just in case you're worried that it's going to come down here, right? You can maybe consider averaging in a little bit, right? You can maybe even open a position if you're not even in, right? But yeah, I think we see a dip tomorrow, and then let's see what happens after. I guess before I leave, we'll do one more view. What's post-market doing? It's going down a little. Again, nothing crazy significant, but yeah, I think that makes sense to me actually. So, all right, let's come to Soundhound. All right, listen, if you watched my video 2 days ago, was it? No, it was this day. Yes, I did it Tuesday because it was after hours when the Soundhound earnings dropped, okay? We were looking at a plus 15, plus 16. We were definitely seeing the candle right here during that after hours. And look, I had so many people in the comments dropping really, really bullish recaps of the earnings. All right, like believe me, I saw the words and yeah, everything that people were saying about the call sounded like the call went really well. I stress so often that it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. It really, really matters what the market thinks, okay? The other thing I always stress is, look, after hours is not important as regular hours. All my videos, I'm making my determinations based on this final closed regular hour candle. Right? Like that's how there's no movement right now. Game's over, right? It's a little bit past 1 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock Eastern. That's when the market closes, right? Like this is done. After hours is still moving. After hours, the volume's a lot lower. There's so many different things, right? And all that said, one big thing I warned, I said, we must close above the 8 moving average. We didn't. All right, let's take a look at the box over there. We actually open a penny above it. You can see we open at 218. The average was at 217. Yeah, that sounds positive, right? And again, I see that it was a green day, right? Like obviously we were this low the day before and then this high the day after, right? Like, yes, I see that it was about a 3.5. This thing says, I think I saw 4% at one point. Like, dude, this was a bad day because again, we open up here and then drop all the way down to here. That's not good. That's not what a green day should look like. In fact, going down from 218 to 206, man, you're pushing just under a 10% loss actually. On top of the 8, look, the one thing I said today was today better get back over the 8 moving average. Instead, we actually did the exact same thing. We basically opened right next to it, but then gave up on it. We also lost this $2 support line. And if you remember, there's a lot of bad that can happen now because literally look at this entire channel from here to here. Red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, green. Like there is nothing but hard and fast down and up. Unfortunately, we're at the place where it's going to go down. And I'm telling you, maybe something like this holds. Maybe 160 something holds. That is a little bit more than 20%. That's about 10%. Yeah, 8. No, that is about 20%. It is. I actually think we're coming down to here. I do. There's a reason why I drew this line and nothing in between it, right? Again, fast, 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 fast. That's actually what I see happening, all right? Yes, I see this curving. Yes, I see this curving. I don't care about any of this down here. Today was in a really, really ugly day that lost a really, really important line, followed by the earnings react. Like, this is the market's earning reaction. And look, let's take a zoom out, okay? Let's take a look at NVIDIA real quick. I said, I think NVIDIA is going to come to this red 50 moving average line. I said, I don't think it's going to go below the red 50 moving average line. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sitting below the red line. I thought we wouldn't. I'm also seeing the 8 go down and the 20 go down, right? Like, we're also still at a relatively high 30. Like, this can still come down to a pure 30 before there's even a recovery, right? Like, I think there's a lot of reason to believe we're coming down to maybe the 400 line, give or take, right? Like, I'm going to actually use the straight 400 round number more than this. But yeah, if NVIDIA's not doing well, dude, SoundHound's not going to do well, all right? Let's take a look at Palantir. I said Palantir was going to come to the red line. I said I don't think it's going to lose the red line. Ladies and gentlemen, it lost it really badly yesterday. And I think today's doji is going to tell the truth tomorrow and it's going to drop back down. Maybe it'll come back up. I don't think we're getting over this red line anytime soon. We're definitely not getting over the red line before NVIDIA does. I'll tell you that much. I for sure believe that. All right, and then let's take a look at AI. AI has completely lost the red line and is now heading to the blue line. All right, I've kept saying the order of importance is NVIDIA, Palantir, AI, and all the others below, including SoundHound, because that's what we're talking about here. Moral of the story was, if NVIDIA is doing bad, if Palantir is doing bad, if AI is doing bad, those three are the ones standing on the podium at the Olympics, right? Like, this guy didn't even make it. Well, I'll give SoundHound 4th place. I'm okay with that. But again, 4th place doesn't stand there and get a medal at the Olympics, right? So you cannot expect this to do. And then, dude, I didn't even flash NASDAQ. Where's CompQ? Where's CompQ? CompQ is doing its best to hold the red line. I actually said I think we're coming down here to 13.4. That's why I drew this right here. So that was on a more recent video. I actually have not drawn new lines on my NASDAQ thing in quite a while. But yeah, I think we're coming down here with the NASDAQ. And yeah, again, I think all that is why it's to me, extremely plausible that we dropped to 142. And hey, can I be honest with you all? Red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, green, green. Like, this loses, 101 is for real a possibility, let alone losing this and falling into all-time lows. Don't pretend none of that can happen. I think it's a little too extreme to say that now. I don't think that this is the immediate target. I actually do think 142 is where this thing wants to go. I do. Where are we on the weekly? We're under all moving averages. There's only 3, there aren't 5, but yeah, under them all and you die, right? Like, that's how this thing works. So, yeah, there is so much to be worried about. I'm not here to spread fear or anything like that, but market reaction to earnings really drives what the next 3 months are before the next earnings comes out. You know what I mean? So this could be a little bit of scariness coming for what could be a bit, okay? Last one I want to look at today is EBET. All right, EBET is a really interesting chart, okay? Clearly, red, green would be the expectation, okay? Where are we after hours? Interesting. Okay, look, I always say it. Bad things happen under the 8 and the 20. I wish I had more decimals here, but you can see it. That 8 moving average is basically on like 0.500, maybe 0.51, right? I wish I had more decimals. I always say that, right? But I would set an alert for 0.51. If we can get over the 8, the goal would be to ride this all the way up to what looks like 7. Again, 2 pennies on a 5-penny stock is a 50% move, all right? So I know it seems like an insignificant nothing, but red, green can actually bring a 50% move, okay? Gotta draw a line right here. Obviously, this is, I'll actually do, what's your 50% candle? Yeah, that's what I'll take. This is a hard plateau, all right? There's a couple of them, actually. This one kind of lines up with the 50, so I'm not going to draw one there. This one actually kind of lines, like, at this point, yeah, man, okay. A couple things are, like, in my head as I'm looking at this, all right? I obviously have no idea why this one's been doing bad, but the last 2 days have been really interesting with volume, okay? This is a really low RSI that obviously has a lot of room up if it goes up, okay? MACD's still in the 0, but yeah, we are moving down with volume, right? The question's going to be, are we going to come down to 120, 130 tomorrow? Or are we going to break the 8 and fly? I think that is the only thing that matters here. Get over the 8 and fly, otherwise we don't. Because look, let's just talk about history, all right? Let's talk about history. Let's at least talk about it since right here. We go down, we come to the 8. We go down, we come to the 8. We kind of stay here. We go down, we come to the 8. Okay, we've been able to get over it before, get to the actual orange line, and then lose it, right? But go away from the 8, come to the 8. Go away from the 8, come to the 8. Go away from the 8, come to the 8. History says we're going to go away from the 8, okay? So make sure you genuinely believe we're over it. That's why I kind of said 0.51 ain't too bad. You're at least into the 5 cents, and yeah, hopefully you'll ride that up into the 7 cents, right? Actually a relatively high 7 cents too, so it's not that bad if you even wait till 0.052 if you even want, right? But yeah, EBET, I'll be honest, I actually think there's more reasons to be worried than be excited. That said, man, volume's been high, even on these bad red days. Volume's been averaging 100 million, all right? 100 million daily shares is really hard to do, let alone do it for essentially 2, 4, 6 days in a row, okay? So I will, like I said, I'm curious to know if we're going to drop down to like 140, 120 tomorrow, or if we're going to hold right here, which basically means around 2, just hold 2 million. And here was a question I got. Look, if I'm asking for 2 million shares during the day, divide that by 8, right? Because there's about 8 hours in trade. You better see 25 million shares in that first hour. Otherwise, there's a lot of catching up to do during the rest. You know what I mean? But EBET, I still don't like it until I believe we're going to get over that and go. So damn, this is 25 minutes. I think I'll end it here. Hey, I appreciate your time so much. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, as always, thank you.